also known as SUA, that has been and is currently being experienced by Toyota drivers not only in the United States but all over the world. SUA has been the cause of numerous deaths and will continue to be unless addressed by this committee, Toyota, and NHTSA. We truly appreciate this opportunity to share our story now, since we've attempted numerous times since October 2006. My name is Rhonda Smith, and this is my husband.
Mr. Chairman, can we get the microphone up? It's hard to hear her.
Sure. Just pull it just a little closer.
Is that better?
Try that, yes.
Okay. My name is Rhonda Smith, and this is my husband of 38 years, Eddie Smith. I'm a retired social worker with the state of Tennessee, and Eddie is a senior vice president at a bank in Sevierville, Tennessee. I'm truly thankful to be here today, and I feel I'm speaking on behalf of those who've lost their lives needlessly, unnecessarily. And I would like to share an incident with you concerning SUA that I experienced October the 12th, 2006 in our new Lexus ES350. This car had 2,728 miles on it when the incident occurred. The vehicle had a keyless push-button ignition and required a key fob to be present inside the car in order for it to start. On that Thursday, October the 12th, 2006, and I am going to read this because I tell you it still upsets me today. I was driving from my home in Sevierville down Highway 66 to the Interstate 40, and upon entering the interstate, I accelerated with everyone else into the flow of traffic. And at this point, I merged over into the second lane, not going into passing gear. At this time, I lost all control of the acceleration of the vehicle. The car goes into passing gear and the cruise light comes on. At this time, I'm thinking that maybe the cruise is what caused the car to keep accelerating, as my foot's not on the gas pedal. I take off the cruise control, but the car continues to accelerate. To make a long story short, I put the car into all available gears, including neutral, but then I put it in reverse, and it remains in reverse as the car speeds to over 100 miles per hour down the interstate. I placed both feet on the brake after I firmly engaged the emergency brake, and nothing slows the car. I figured the car was going to go its maximum speed, and I was going to have to put the car into the upcoming guardrail in order to prevent killing anyone else. And I prayed for God to help me. I called my husband on the Bluetooth phone system. I knew I'm sorry. I knew he could not help me, but I wanted to hear his voice one more time. After 6 miles, God intervened. As the car came very slowly to a stop, I pulled it to the left median. With the car stopped and both feet still on the brake, the motor still revved up and down. At 35 miles an hour, it would not shut off. Finally, at 33 miles per hour, I was able to turn the engine off. Thank you. After my husband arrived, he found nothing unusual about the accelerator or the floor mats. But the strange thing was that the dash lights and the radio were still on. After the wrecker arrived, we gave the vehicle fob to the wrecker driver. When he hooked the car and prepared to winch it onto the rollback, he asked my husband to put the car in neutral so he could start the winch. The driver was standing 20 to 25 feet away at the rollback controls. Without thinking, my husband sat down in the car without the key fob and was able to shift the car into neutral, which he shouldn't have been able to do. But when he did that, the car actually tried to start itself. We have a notarized statement from Tommy Clayton, the wrecker driver, attesting to this. Toyota said they would inspect our Lexus and contact us. After 10 days, we still had not received a call back. We called again and got the same assurances. Toyota promised us they would look into our complaint several more times over the next few weeks. When we finally forced Toyota to respond in writing, we received a 5-sentence analysis stating, and I quote, "When properly maintained, the brakes will always override the accelerator." Well, we know that's a lie. And we were outraged that Toyota would suggest in that statement also that the brakes had to not properly be maintained in order for that to happen. And the car had less than 3,000 miles on it. Once again, we contacted our dealer and expressed our disgust with Toyota's handling. They recommended that we contact NCDS, which is the National Center for Dispute Settlement, and ask for an arbitration hearing. Our NCDS hearing was a total farce. The representative for Lex was Mr. Leonard St. Amand, their Tennessee District Field Technician. Mr. St. Amand, although only an hour away in Kingsport, did not show his face, and he attended via speakerphone. He insisted that he could not recreate the incident and that I had more than likely caused this problem by standing on the brakes while spinning the tires. Well, of course, we were furious that Toyota called us liars the second time. NCDS denied our claim for a total refund of our purchase price for this possessed car, which is all we were asking for. In mid-March 2007, we turned to NHTSA for help. Mr. Steve Chan and Mr. D. Scott Yon, safety defects engineers, responded. Mr. Yon took over our claim and seemed to be receptive of our concerns that sudden unintended acceleration in Lexus vehicles could cause serious injury, and we told them possibly death at that time, that somebody was really going to get hurt. We furnished pictures of the car and documentation of what had transpired since October 2006. On April the 11th, 2007, Mr. Yon flew to Knoxville, Tennessee, and drove to Sevierville to inspect the car. My husband will address that in a moment. Since neither Toyota nor NHTSA took us seriously, we tried to alert the public through the news media back then. We contacted numerous news agencies, a lot that are probably here today, and we tried all types of media, only to have one local station take an interest in our claim that Toyota and NHTSA were ignoring the deadly problem. Only one local station, Dawn Dare with WATE-TV, Channel 6 in Knoxville, did the story, which aired spring of 2007. We have a strong belief that the problem was somewhere in the electronics. After the Santee, California crash that killed a California highway patrolman and his family, WATE-TV did a second story on Toyota's sudden unintended acceleration. This was broadcast in February 2010, showing our original interview and a current interview. We've never wavered from our belief that our problem was electronic, not wandering floor mats. We forwarded this 2010 video to Toyota and NHTSA and received no response. In early 2008, we reluctantly let go of our mission to persuade Toyota and NHTSA to deal with the problem because the effort was too traumatizing. But we're here today because for the first time, we feel our story has been given more than a token attention. Unfortunately, it took almost 4 years and injuries and lives lost to prompt Congress to take up this important issue. In 2006 and 2007, we hoped that our efforts might spare others the unnecessary terror and pain of an SUA incident. And it pains our hearts deeply to realize that we failed, but this failure is surely shared by Toyota and NHTSA today. In our view, they've demonstrated an uncaring attitude and disregard for life. The results have been tragic, and today, I must say, shame on you, Toyota, for being so greedy, and shame on you, NHTSA, for not doing your job. It's our hope that this testimony will help all of Toyota's customers in a way that Toyota has not yet done to this day. Once again, I'd like to thank this committee for taking the time to listen to our story. It's about time we were heard. And I hope that Toyota and NHTSA will be held accountable for the poor decisions that have cost some people their lives. Would also like to ask this committee to set a higher standard for NHTSA to be held more accountable in the future.